Hi, I'm Drex, and this is Introduction to Poi. We've covered a lot of the basic techniques and ideas behind poi spinning, so now it's finally time to learn your first poi trick. Now this move is called a reel turn, and we're going to begin it by starting off in wheel plane right here, with our poi in together same. You'll note, as I'm rotating them forwards here, they pass down, past my ankles. At that point, I'm going to go ahead and let them sweep past my ankles, turn my body 180 degrees, and let the poi come back at me in what feels like a reverse direction. Now, there are 4 things about this move I want to point out that's going to help you guys get it down cleanly. The first is that while it appears from your perspective as though the poi are switching from going forwards to going reverse, this is only relative to you. As far as the audience is concerned, the poi haven't shifted in direction at all. Next, when you're going forwards, you're going to find that the poi are on each side of your body, one on your right, one on your left. When you turn, again, you're going to wind up in reverse with one poi on your left side, one poi on your right side. In between, that is, as you're going through the turn, the poi has switched over to being on the same side of your body. This is really important because it helps you prevent collisions. It prevents you from hitting yourself. Next, you're going to want to make sure that you execute this turn when the poi are both pointed down. If you do it at any other point, it's likely that the poi are going to hit you in the middle of the turn. Finally, this is a complete turn. This is going from facing one side to facing the other side completely. You don't want to execute only a half turn because at that point the planes of the poi are working against you and you're going to have a really hard time recovering. Try and make sure that you're going all the way from one side to the other. If it helps, put one foot forward and another foot back and just rotate between them. So you're switching which foot is forward and which one is back. Now let's take this same move and turn back the other direction, back to forwards. Here, we're starting in reverse with the poi coming back up at ourselves. And at the top of the poi's path, your hands are coming up towards your eyes. Now we're going to go ahead and let both of the hands pass by our eyes as we turn back the other direction and let the poi drop down past our ankles, back into forwards. Again, as we're going reverse here, I want to let both of my hands go past my eyes and come back down on the other side. Now, I personally find that going from reverse to forwards is a little bit more of a challenge than going from forwards to reverse. The reason for this is that gravity is a little bit less helpful. Here are a couple things that you might run into and how to fix them. First and foremost, you might find that you're turning not quite at the right moment. You want to make sure that you're turning when the poi are both pointing up. The key to this move is understanding that the turn always comes when the poi are coming towards you. Next, you might wind up in a position where one of the poi accidentally goes behind you. This can result in some uncomfortable collisions. Again, make sure that as you're completing that turn, both of your hands are going past your eyes. This is another case where we're taking a position where the poi are on either side of our body, bringing them both to the same side, and then ending it with the poi on either side of our body once again. We call this kind of move a hip reel. That is a turn that is executed with your hands close to your hips. And we can also do it in the other 3 timing and direction combinations that we learned in the last video. Here's how we would go about doing that, breaking this apart piece by piece. First and foremost, I'm going to be spinning in together same here forwards with my 2 poi in wheel plane. I'm then going to execute a tic-tac with just my right hand. That is going back and forth from my left side to my right side with just that right side poi. And I'm going to stop with my right hand poi on my left hand side. I'm going to turn so that both of my poi are now in wall plane. Next, I'm going to take my left hand and begin executing a tic-tac on the other side of my body. Again, it is only my left hand that's doing the tic-tac here. When my left hand arrives over on my left hand side, I'm going to stop, turn my body into wheel plane, and now find that my poi seem to be turning reverse. Next, I'm going to go back to doing tic-tacs with my right hand, going back and forth from my left side to my right side in reverse, before finally settling on my left hand side and turning so that my back is now facing the audience. Here, I'm back in wall plane and my poi are now turning counterclockwise relative to me. With my left hand, I'm going to begin doing a tic-tac once again. Just my left hand, not my right hand. Settle on my left side and complete my turn back to where I started, going forwards in wheel plane. You can use this same technique to learn how to do hip reels in any timing and direction combination. The method and technique are exactly the same. You might have a bit of a challenge when you try doing these turns in split timings. That's because the timing of the turn works a little bit differently. You're still going to execute that turn when you have a poi going past your ankles, but now you're going to find that only one of the poi is going past your ankles at any given point, which is totally fine. In this case, I'm going to turn to my left-hand side, so I'm going to wait until my left-hand poi is going down past my ankles. I'm going to follow it around, and my right-hand poi, that is my orange one, is just going to trail behind it. It should automatically fall into place. Now, if I'm turning back to my right, I'm going to wait until my right-hand poi is facing up, and again, my body's going to follow it around, and my left-hand poi should automatically trail just a little bit behind it. Totally fine. The rule of thumb to keep in mind is that any time you're making a turn from forwards to reverse, you're making that turn when the poi goes past your ankles. Anytime when you're turning from reverse to forwards, you're turning when the poi is pointed up towards the sky. Please note, when you're working in opposite directions, you want to make sure when you're turning in a given direction, check and see what hand is in that direction, whether it's turning forwards or reverse, so you can keep straight whether you're meant to go up or whether you're meant to go down in order to complete that turn. Just as there are hip reels, you can execute these same turns at different points along your body. For example, you can execute these turns with your hands up near your shoulders. We would refer to these turns as being shoulder reels, but the technique to learn them is exactly the same as hip reels. Reels are absolutely integral to developing freedom of movement with your poi. In the next video, we'll cover some techniques that you can use to add a little bit of spice to your reel turns. Thank you for watching and enjoy the flow. Peace. Hey guys, so this series exists for one reason and one reason only, and that is the amazing support of my backers on Patreon. They have been allowing me to tackle more ambitious topics like this one and to create long series rather than just having to do one-off videos. And it's been totally awesome. So if you're getting anything out of these series, then please hop on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up to support them. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month, and that little bit of support helps so much in being able to create these pieces of knowledge to put out there to the wider flow arts community. So for those of you guys already on Patreon, thank you so much for enabling me to do this work. And for those of you guys out there watching, thank you for tuning in as well.